Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. So we are in Leviticus 13 1 through 59. And we see that the people come before the priest. The priests were to keep the congregation physically and spiritually clean. So, spiritually, they would bring animals to sacrifice for their sin. And physically, if there was something that arose on their skin or something they were unsure about, they would go to the priest and let him look at it and check it out. Now, the point of being shut up for 7 days is some diseases, some plagues, they spread when they're in the darkness. And so that is why they would be shut up. Now, some of the plagues could take longer for them to actually show up and you'd be able to see them. That's why they were shut up many times for a second 7 days. And then in return, if it had not spread, then the priest would pronounce them to be clean and they would be back with the congregation. Now, if they were to have the plague, that it had spread, then they would move them outside of the camp because they didn't want this to spread to the rest of the congregation. That is also why the person outside of the camp would have to yell when they saw anybody that I'm unclean, I'm unclean, I'm unclean. This was like telling them, stay away so you don't get what I have. Now, if we think about this in our families, if somebody gets the flu or chickenpox or anything else that would be contagious to the rest of the family, we generally quarantine them in their bedroom. And then we will bring them their soups and their medicines and other things. But we try to keep them in that one room so the rest of the family does not get whatever it is that they have. And then during the duration of taking care of them until they feel better, until the flu has ended or the chickenpox has went away, then we have them take a shower or bath, they get all clean, they're integrated back into the rest of the family, and then we do a deep clean of the bedroom where they have been staying. And the point of this is so that other people don't get sick. I know people, which I have been guilty of the same thing. Sometimes when people are sick or it's just the season of colds, when we have people in, I just periodically take disinfectant wipes and go wipe down doorknobs and light switches and the TV channel, just so that things aren't spread to other people that come into my house. Now, the other thing is when you're outside of that camp, they usually did not have any kind of companionship with anybody because everybody stayed away from them because they didn't want to get sick. They didn't want to catch the plague or disease that they had. Now, in Matthew 8:3, Jesus touched a leprous. Now, leprosy was very contagious. I mean, touching it could mean that you would be infested your own body as well. But Jesus, we know, had the power that he could have told them, hey, be clean, and he would have been clean. Jesus never would have had to touch him, but Jesus chose to touch the leprosy because that person had not been touched in however many years. And Jesus was showing compassion to touch somebody's hand or to give them a hug, to let them know that they were loved. And a lot of times, leprosy can also be a sign of sin. Today, if sin is in one part of your body, it tends to spread to the rest of your body. And sin spills out onto the rest of your family members or friends or co-workers that you come in contact with as well. So just as leprosy was very fatal and can cause somebody to die, sin is very fatal and can cause us to die as well. Sin pulls us away from God and it separates us from God, from the relationship. Now, Jesus, of course, when he died on the cross, he made us white as snow. This allowed us to come into the presence of a merciful, forgiving God, to ask him for forgiveness and to help guide us in our life. And physically, we can take showers and be clean, and as far as other people see, we're clean. But spiritually, sin decays the body. And people don't always see that until it's too late and the sin has infested them and their life. So we don't go around saying, I'm unclean, like they did in the Bible times. But maybe we should go around and say, I am a sinner saved by grace and washed in the blood of Jesus. Now, that would sound weird to say that in a big group of people or out in the streets and people you don't know. But maybe we'll tone it down a little bit. We are sinners saved by grace. We're washed in the blood of Jesus so that we can come in the presence of God. Now, we might not say that to everybody and shout it in the streets and in public places, but what we can do is make sure that we use every opportunity that we have to have compassion on other people, to tell them who God is and what he has done for our life and what his plan is for that person as well, because God has a plan for each and every one of us. He has plans for us even before we realize he has plans for us. It takes us a little longer to get on the same playing field as Jesus or as God. You know, God may say, hey, I'm calling you to be a preacher, and the guy's running. Nope, I'm not going to be a preacher, until finally you hit a brick wall and you say, okay, Lord, I will submit and I will become a preacher. The same thing for teachers. Teachers sometimes say, no, I'm not a good spokesperson. I don't look good on TV. I get nervous when I talk in a group of people. I can't do that. Well, you can keep telling yourself that, but if that is what God's plan is for you, eventually you will be doing that. It's just a matter of how long are you going to run? How long are you going to hit that brick wall until you say, okay, God, I give in. I will do this. I'll do the best I can, and I will know that you will give me the tools and resources that I need to do what you've called me to do. And as priests are responsible for their congregation to give them the word, us as parents, as daughters, sons, we are responsible for making sure that our family members have the right tools that they need to be able to openly come into the presence of God. And they also have to have the right tools to be able to fight against sin. And if they don't get it from us, who are they going to hear it from? May God be with you in everything and in every way.